So after watching hundreds of game dev videos like you're doing right now, I decided that it's finally time to start my own game. While everyone is telling you to start small, I decided that my first game should be a Metroidvania. Hello and welcome, my name is Ilya and I'm currently working on a 2D game named Onchu. With my game I at least decided to go 2D, because I realized that 3D modeling takes too much time while learning everything simultaneously. Of course I could have bought pre-made assets, but it didn't feel right at the time, so I stayed with the 2D art I was able to create myself. But I'm cutting ahead right now. Let's start at the beginning. While I'm already further into the game at the time I'm making this video, I'm gonna try to show you my first attempt inside Unity. I started like most people with some YouTube tutorial on player movement, and because my game will have some platforming elements inside it, I decided to give the player controller enough time to make it perfect from the beginning. Spoiler alert, I probably completely changed my scripts at least 3 times since then, but I guess this is normal when you learn something new. But back to my first challenge, programming a player controller. I knew at the time how code looks like and also knew some of the general logic how code behaves, but I didn't know how to code. Luckily I was learning fast and created my first movement script with the help of YouTube tutorials, of course. While this looks like nothing, it was pretty cool feeling to play with something you programmed yourself. So I moved on to jumping, and while this could have been a very fast step, I decided to make my life harder. Because, like you might know, you have to check if the player is on the ground to make him jump, or he will be able to jump forever and fly away. I decided to do this not with an easy box collider at the feet of the player, but with using raycasting. This was me thinking that I want to use raycasting soon anyways for the enemy scripts, so why not learn it right now and use it for jumping as well. And because I just started out and there were not that many tutorials on exactly how I planned to do it, this was not an easy task. But I managed somehow and completed my first task, a player controller script. With that I started my next goals, implementing animations and creating enemies. Because I'm not the craziest artist, I decided not to go with the traditional animation where you have to create multiple pictures and show them after each other, but try to do animation with rigging. For those not knowing what rigging means, you basically create bones on a picture and move them around. The picture will deform itself and you have animations. Unfortunately, the animations in this old version didn't work anymore because I probably overwrote them with something else. So you have to wait until my next version. I also created the enemy patrolling and attack script. The enemy basically walks around until you are in the line of sight and then it charges you. Attacks and damage were not implemented at that time. I decided to leave out most of the coding parts in this video because I feel like it might be boring for some of you. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see more of my coding process and I will consider making a separate video about it. Anyway, let's move to the next version of my game. Like you can see, I got bored with those basic shapes and my ugly ass character and decided to draw a better one. The background elements you see are free assets from the asset store I used as placeholders. Here you can see some basic platforms and such, but this scene was mainly to test out my new character and his animations. I also found a free monster asset online that already was animated, but it is not really doing anything else, so let's move to the next version. Like you can see, I already replaced my main character again, because I was not happy with him, and created this one. It looks like the animations are not working here. And it looks like I tried something with the lighting. Is the monster still here? I'm still dark, but he isn't. Whatever, let's move on. So in this scene, why can't I move? I don't get it. Holy moly, what is going on here? Let me fix this for a second. Okay, now I removed all the colliders but one. There are still no player animations, but I guess I was working on the enemy at that time. Oh my god, he's pulling out the knife. I forgot about that. I also lose health, so apparently I got this working at the time as well. I can't die or attack myself though. Oh, and I also created a basic menu scene with buttons that don't really do anything. It just loads into one of the scenes. This is all I have from my old versions. This scene here is now from my newest version I'm working on right now. There's already a lot more implemented at that point, but this will be a part of another video. I also have to talk about my game design and story ideas, how I created my art, my first music piece, and much more. If you don't want to miss any of this, subscribe to this channel. Also leave a like if you enjoyed this devlog and tell me in the comments what I could improve on. And even though this is my devlog number 1, I also uploaded a devlog introduction video where I talk about how I ended up here. Check it out if you like. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye!